Hello chess people, let's get right to it. I played against the Nimzo Larsen today and I wanted to show you the game. We're going to go over the game briefly. We're going to go over all the missed wins that I had because there were many. Then we're going to go over how to actually defend against the Nimzo Larsen. So, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's take a look here. We had the Nimzo Larsen with b3. e5, I wanted to stop this bishop from having so much influence on the long diagonal. That's going to be a pretty common theme of this game. Knight c6, defending my pawn, clearly, right? Alright, e3, opponent wants to put his bishop here. Bishop out, protecting d4. And opponent is trying to eliminate the defender of this pawn. So what I have to do is either defend this with another knight, or I have to defend the pawn. I chose to defend the pawn. Captures, captures. Doubled pawns, I'm okay with it though because we control some good real estate here. Okay, d3, kind of strange move, probably should be developing. Developing the knight, preparing to castle. c4, another strange move because, well, if this guy wants to attack on the king side and castle queen side, this is going to be a major weakness. And you'll see that. So let's continue. Castles, knight f3 developing. Bishop developing, pinning the knight. Kicking the bishop. And we run away. So far so good. If you're still with me, you should join us on Tuesdays and play. It's a lot of fun. It's good for the content too. Okay, continuing. Rook g1, signaling a kingside attack, the intention for a kingside attack. So, queen d7, connecting the rooks, eyeing these two pawns. If g5, I want to move my knight to h5 and also have this weak pawn hanging around. Knight h4, going after the bishop, and a5, hoping to create weaknesses on the queen side. That will be important soon. All right, g5, just like we thought was going to happen, and we'll go over this afterwards, but turns out I can give up the knight. At the time, though, I'd like to keep my material. So, knight h5. This knight is nice and safe. It's protecting g7 long term from that sniper of a bishop, right? Captures the bishop. I captured back towards the center because that's how I'm conditioned. Maybe capturing with the f-pawn was better, but hey, it's all good. All right, opponent defending his pawn. And what I wanted to do here, I wanted to move my queen up to h2 and then capture on e3 with this tactic in mind to capture the bishop on b2. Okay. Queen, he clearly saw that tactic, so I think he's stopping that tactic. I give a check because the sound makes me happy. All right, he blocks it. And what I want to do is charge forward on the queen side, create weaknesses. And the next move was frankly astonishing. Queenside castle, allowing every weakness on earth. I didn't want to capture first because I thought the knight would capture back. Thinking about it now, that would have been fine because we capture the pawn anyways, but I capture the knight and then capture the pawn. I want to stack up pressure along that open file and along this B file, and I want to demolish this king. All right. Excellent pressure this way, yeah. Pinning the bishop. I'm going to get my queen out of there. I would like to go here. My opponent does not want me to go there, though. So I'm going to have to use one turn to make it last a little longer here. Queen a8 and bishop b8. All right, opponent has a long-term threat. Checkmate on g7. So now I'm thinking, all right, he's probably going to charge with one of these pawns, hoping to deflect my bishop or just crack this open, get on the open files and wreak havoc. Let's see how that works out. Queen b7, pressuring this pawn, telling the queen if you move, you're going to have issues. Lots and lots of issues. f4, as anticipated. Captures, captures. Now, It's not a free pawn. Don't do that. That's not good. Don't do that. So, what to do instead? I have this idea, rook a5. And yes, it's giving up the rook. Incredible. So, I really wished this was a brilliant move. It's not, because rook a6 is just better, because it keeps the rook. If, and only if, the opponent captures this, he's done. Because we're going to regain this, this bishop, and depending on how he moves, we're going to checkmate him. Just flat out checkmate him in the center of the board. So I think he saw that and declined my offer. So he's trying to neutralize my control of the file, which I kind of played into a bit. And now my plan is, okay, c5, going after g2. I want to gain control of that second rank, just like in my system, right? All those chapters that are very difficult to read, where he's basically saying, get on the second rank, get on the 7th rank. All right. He grabs the open file. Well, guess what? I'm grabbing the rank. And at this point, he blocks with the queen. So, with the end game in mind, I notice these weaknesses. That was weird. I noticed these two weaknesses, and we trade. Now, I was terrified of the rook coming to the 7th rank to hit that pawn. But here's why I should not have been terrified. Knight e6, trapping the rook completely. I missed it. That's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to go over missed wins yet. So I defend the file, right? And now we're just going to gobble some pieces. Run away. Terrible mistake. Double attack. Boom. And we win in ridiculous fashion with a fork. Opponent resigns. If you're still here, I'm glad. We're going to look at the missed wins. If you're still here, wow, cool. Here's all the missed wins, okay? And why they worked. All right, instead of queen d7, e4, a really nice move. If captures, we're going to get a lot of great pressure here. And we're going to use this open diagonal to wreak havoc on the position here. After knight c5, this is a weak square, this is a weak pawn. He can't castle queenside. It's not going to happen. I mean, okay, he can, but that's not a good idea. We're eyeing way too much of his territory, left, right, and center. That's why it's a missed win. Let's go back. All right, a5. Even giving up this pawn, we have an excellent continuation. Queen e6, d4. It's attacking us, but look, it's also defending. We let him take it. We capture another pawn on c4, and when he takes our bishop, we take his bishop. And something like that prevents silliness from continuing, as you can see. Let's move on. All right. After this, we can actually play bishop h5, and the reason is, if he captures, well, obviously if he captures, we take his queen. If he goes back to f3 with the knight, we actually give up the knight. We're going to play bishop b4, and after he blocks, we're going to go up to f5 with our queen, and this looks disgusting because this is open. We just lost the knight, right? We're going to regain it, of course. And, you know, despite this issue, we just played g6. We're fine. We're fine. But nobody, the minute they see this, excuse me, this, nobody wants that. And I stopped calculating once I saw that. But we just played g6. We're slicing this way. We're slicing that way. We're going to get this pawn back. We're fine. We're fine. So that's why it's a missed win. Let's continue. Okay, f5, beautiful, beautiful move, opens the game up, which is exactly why I did not want to play it. But when you look at the board, this side of the board is in shambles, not developed, pieces aren't coordinated. We're gonna crush this dude. I don't have to worry about this this open file, but when you're in the moment, you think, okay, I certainly do not want to give this bishop any more scope. So that was the idea at the time. Let's go back. Bishop b4, all of a sudden is a missed win in this line. Queen h2, rook f1, defending, and then f5 for the same reasons. Let's go back. Okay. All right, bishop takes, not the best idea here. Instead, queen c8. We're going to keep the tension with the pawns, keep this knight on the board, and let's say he tries to get his knight active. Well, then we're just going to take, and this is looking good. We're eyeing over some key squares here, and now we're going to double, excuse me, not rook a7, rook a2. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to double, triple, la-di-da. We're going to stack up on this guy and going to have a good time, right? All right. c5 for similar reasons as in the rest of the game here. Let's see. Right. Rook a6. That's just solid. We're gonna be able to triple up. It's very simple. But a lot of these things, they were very long-term tactical stuff and positional awareness that I just didn't have. So that does it for the missed wins. Let's get on to how the pros play against this. All right, here's a game between Nakamura and Firouzja, and it's very interesting, some of the decisions that were made. For instance, bishop d6. You just don't really usually do that. But they get away with it because, you know, 3,300 rating, that'll do it. But you see, after he castles, he actually kicks the bishop first, retreats the bishop back, and now just takes the full center. And this is quite a nice position here. Of course, Nakamura opens up the file for the attack, but, you know, this is anyone's game. Knight on g3 is a little awkward, but hey, it's Hikaru Nakamura. In fact, never mind. The knight is perfect. But in this game in particular, I think Firouzja had the tactical edge. So let's take a look at maybe a Carlsen game. Wesley So, Magnus Carlsen. Let's take a look. What do you know? The same thing, right? With an early e4 advance. Very interesting. And trading off the strong bishop. Genius. Let's go back. Let's see here. Nakamura, Saren. Are you noticing a pattern yet? Bishop d6. Very common. I just learned that. You just learned that. Very good. I know that was brief, but hey, that'll get us started. Enough to get in trouble anyways. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, wow, cool. Hey, join us on Tuesdays. We play chess every week. And plus, I'd love to start streaming again. So, you know, be really cool if you could attend, right? Maybe you get featured. Maybe you win 1 month diamond for free. Anyways, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday afternoon. Keep calm, chess on. All that good stuff.